Welcome in my channel, Learning English with Sir Willy. Please subscribe, like, comment, or share with your friends. Today I'm going to explain to you about most common verbs in English and how to use them in the different situations. Number 1. Play. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I play soccer every day. John plays soccer every day. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I'm playing soccer now. John is playing soccer now. They are playing soccer now. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I played soccer yesterday. John played soccer yesterday. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I'm going to play soccer tomorrow. John is going to play soccer tomorrow. They are going to play soccer tomorrow. Number 2. Go. Use simple present for habitual activity. I go to bed every night. John goes to bed every night. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I'm going to bed at the moment. John is going to bed at the moment. They are going to bed at the moment. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I went to bed last night. John went to bed last night. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I'm going to go to bed tonight. John is going to go to bed tonight. They are going to go to bed tonight. Number 3. Read. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I usually read a novel. John usually reads a novel. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I am reading a novel at present. John is reading a novel at present. They are reading a novel at present. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I read a novel this morning. John read a novel this morning. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I am going to read a novel next week. John is going to read a novel next week. They are going to read a novel next week. Number 4. Make. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I sometimes make a cake. John sometimes makes a cake. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I am making a cake at this time. John is making a cake at this time. They are making a cake at this time. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I made a cake 2 hours ago. John made a cake 2 hours ago. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I am going to make a cake 10 minutes later. John is going to make a cake 10 minutes later. They are going to make a cake 10 minutes later. Number 5. Drink. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I often drink a cup of coffee. John often drinks a cup of coffee. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I am drinking a cup of coffee at present. John is drinking a cup of coffee at present. They are drinking a cup of coffee at present. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I drank a cup of coffee this morning. John drank a cup of coffee this morning. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I am going to drink a cup of coffee soon. John is going to drink a cup of coffee soon. They are going to drink a cup of coffee soon. Number 6. Watch. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I rarely watch a movie. John rarely watches a movie. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I am watching a movie right now. John is watching a movie right now. They are watching a movie right now. Use past tense for past activity. For example, I watched a movie last Sunday. John watched a movie last Sunday. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I am going to watch a movie the day after tomorrow. John is going to watch a movie the day after tomorrow. They are going to watch a movie the day after tomorrow. Number 7. Buy. Use simple present for habitual activity. For example, I never buy beer. John never buys beer. Use present continuous for present activity. For example, I am buying clothes at the moment. John is buying clothes at the moment. They are buying clothes at the moment. Use past tense for past activity. I bought a car last month. John bought a car last month. Use future tense for future activity. For example, I am going to buy a house next year. John is going to buy a house next year. They are going to buy a house next year.